All right. Merry Christmas. Welcome back. Episode 229 of Chaotically Intolerant in person. We haven't done an episode in like 3 or 4 weeks. Schedule has been not matching up together. So, but this was like the perfect opportunity around the holidays. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball free agency. A lot of shit is being moved around.
Yeah.
But before we do that, go check out Spring Hill Sports Cards. They are doing their off-season episodes once every 2 weeks. So go check that out. Go check out draftamerica.com and go add your email to our email list. The emails are coming back. I just have not had the time. That's been the definition of the past few months. So again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's go. All right, Mike, let's get into it. So it's a good Christmas. Got a lot going on in baseball. There's crazy. I mean, this is like the most the NFL season. Just I don't even know. Like parody is the perfect word. There's been some, but let's talk a little baseball first.
All right,
Chicago sports are back.
Yeah, perhaps.
Chicago White Sox sign. Pronounce his name for me.
Is it? I'm just remembering. Well, it's Murakami. Last name Munataka. I don't want to butcher the name. But yeah, I like it. I mean, what was it, about 10, 12 years ago when they brought Jose Abreu in and, had a great career. He won the MVP in the shortened season. Munataka Murakami, yeah.
2 year, $34 million.
I think I saw a good comment. I think it was at Trade Rumors. There's something somebody was like, oh, that's White Sox. That's not how you spell Dodgers. It was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, I just wonder if at this point they're like, well, it's just how redundant is it for players to go to LA? So Chicago, it doesn't move the needle too much for them, but it gives them a little bit of like, okay, somebody wanted to go there. I think it gives them a little pop in their lineup. Not a lot of people can name very many hitters on the White Sox right now. I think Kyle Teal was probably their best, and I had heard the Red Sox were interested in maybe making a move, but then they get Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, that's the big one. I mean, obviously you need more. I think they need to add more depth to the pitching, to the bullpen right now.
Right.
But, adding the catching position in Boston has been kind of difficult to fill at times. And, especially, I mean, really, go back to Jason Varitek. I mean, Salty.
Salty, yeah. I mean, Christian Vasquez, but he didn't give you as much offensively.
Couple good years, yeah. But you haven't had a cornerstone guy at that position in a long time.
But is the plan to use him behind the plate? Because he's, he'd been playing first base in St.
Yeah, well, now you have Carlos Narvaez sitting back there.
Right.
What the fuck happened? But I hope they just try and put him at first base. I mean, it feels like Tristan Casas, his time has kind of run out in Boston. With that injury, maybe they sign him to a very cheap deal because he's really not going to command that much. But I like it. At least they're making moves.
Right.
That's what you want to see from this team. They have to get better. But you really got to go out and get a couple guys from the bullpen. And you got to sign Bregman.
Right. Yeah, because Toronto's interested in Bregman. So imagine he goes in the division to a team that's already
very good,
very much ready to win. And
if I have to watch the Red Sox let a third baseman with the initials AB walk again my lifetime, I'll be sick to my stomach.
Right.
I mean, I remember the Beltray year. And even as a kid, I was like, this guy's really good. Why would they let him go?
2010. Yeah. It was his walk year and went to Texas, I think,
and then he had a
season.
Fantastic rest of his career. People thought he was done.
Hall of Fame. Career, So every team. Well, actually, the Yankees have been pretty much the quietest team in the AL East, which you wonder if they're just lying in wait. I mean, even Tampa, I think, brought in. Well, I wouldn't call Steven Matz a big pickup, but the Orioles finally go out and get some right-handed power in their lineup. Two guys combined for Alonso and Taylor Ward combined for 74 home runs. I feel like Taylor Ward's a little bit of a redundant, just slightly better version of Tyler O'Neill, but I don't love giving up Grayson Rodriguez. I still think he has a lot of upside. Obviously, they're scared off by his medicals. Yeah. And then they go out and they get Shane Baz, a guy who's, I would have said it's buy low, but they gave up 4 pretty good or at least a couple good prospects
Yeah.
to get him, and then talks about whether they're still in the mix for Framber Valdez, perhaps. But he's going to get, I think, whatever he gets will be too much.
Yeah.
But they need another rotation corner, or a rotation cornerstone, and then also I think they need bullpen help.
Mhm.
But I like that there's starting to be some effort there.
Yeah.
I think the Blue Jays have already been aggressive with Dylan Cease. So, I mean, this is one of those years everyone's talking about the inevitable lockout and let's just kind of cower to what the Dodgers are doing. I'd like to see some of the teams that are actually in contention, especially, spend money and say, we're not going to just roll over and let them three-peat here going into this unsure season. So I'm at least somewhat encouraged by seeing some of these teams make moves, players willing to sign in different places. So, and the American League is always wide open. The Dodgers, someone has to get to the World Series in the American League.
Yeah.
And last year it was the Blue Jays and some of these other teams, Red Sox, Orioles, perhaps, maybe Detroit, Cleveland. I don't know. Thinking like Seattle. Why not us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. The Dodgers just get stronger again.
Yeah. I know it was like a day after they were talking about, I don't think we're going to be in on free agents. And Dave Roberts, like, I think we got a good, and then, and Diaz, that was one that I had feared because, they quote, and this is always air quotes, needed a closer. Well, last year they spent $72 million for 4 years to get Tanner Scott. Oh, well, we'll just sweep that one under the rug. Let's just go out and get Diaz. I mean, they'll have Gratterall coming back. Evan Phillips is a free agent, but they'll find enough guys in the bullpen to supplement whoever's going to be their closer. It was rough to see, but I don't think anybody should be surprised. I don't think anybody should be surprised if they make another move. You still got some big names out there, Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker being really the two biggest. And then there was buzz during the winter meetings that they might be in on Tarek Skubal, that they were going to potentially put a package together. That
originally there was a done deal.
Yeah, so they say, well,
all but done. They just needed the ownership to sign off on it.
Well, Ohtani was on that plane to Toronto too, wasn't he? So I'm not sure how much validity there was to those rumors, but again, there is not one move that the Dodgers could make that would surprise or should surprise anybody. I still am hopeful Detroit tries to open up the pocketbook and keep Skubal long term, because if the Dodgers, like, it's the same thing with Mookie Betts and Tyler Glass now. We're like, the fans will say, well, we didn't buy him, we traded for him. I was like, well, you traded for him once you had that long term extension in place. So it was like basically the stipulation of, well, we're just getting him a year early in free agency, and we'll give you something to have that opportunity. So, yeah, fingers crossed that doesn't happen with Skubal, but. Again, you're not feeling secure until I think, because who's to say they don't get him at the trade deadline next year? Detroit falls out of it and hasn't reached an extension, and LA has a couple of pitching injuries. Someone's out for 2 weeks. We got to get another pitcher. Let's go out and get Skubal. So it's kind of crazy. And Diaz to the Dodgers, that stinks for the Mets. They also just traded Jeff McNeil to the A's. I don't think that's a.
I mean, you lose Pete Alonso, right. You lose him, you lose now Edwin Diaz. Like, it feels like it's in somewhat tear it down mode.
Well, they brought in Marcus Semien. They're taking on a big financial responsibility with him. He's coming off really a couple down years. Jorge Polanco, again, those moves do not ease the angst of the fans for losing Diaz and Alonso.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we want to cover. So let's move into the NFL. All right. Let's jump into the NFL. What a season. This is probably one of the better seasons that we've had. And I hate like saying that because it just feels so prisoner of the moment type of thing.
Right.
But I mean, no one really feels very good. Everyone feels like they have, there's a lot of teams that feel like they have a shot. There's been a ton of collapses. I mean, in week 8, like halfway through the season, people thought it was going to be Colts Bucks in the Super Bowl. There was a realistic chance that it was going to be Colts Bucks in the Super Bowl. And now both of those teams might not even make the playoffs. You have the old guard again coming in with new faces in the Patriots. Right. You have the NFC West is just an absolute battle right now. The NFC South is a battle. You're going to have a winner-take-all game in Week 18, so you're guaranteed at least one of those.
Possibly.
I'm going to say I'm pretty. I'm going to say I'm comfortable saying that. I think I'm pretty comfortable. I mean, we never know. We could have a winner take or a down to the wire finish in the AFC South. The Colts are not doing it. I'm just going to say it right now. They're not doing it. I guess we'll address the Colts as to get it out of the way because that's probably the longest part. But Uncle Phil coming in. Listen, I don't care. I don't care what you say. That's awesome. It is. It's cool. He comes off the couch and throws for 2 touchdowns in 260, 270, 2 weeks after coming off the couch. He's had 2 weeks of practice and he's able to do it. He's checking out of plays constantly at the line. I mean, I want him to run the offense. I want him to be the head coach because show me a big win that Shane Steichen has. He doesn't have a big win in his entire time. Chuck Pagano got fired after 2 years of going 8-8 after winning the division, or 3 years of going 8-8 after winning the division for 3 straight years. Now, we all knew it was Andrew Luck that was driving that whole team. I mean, Frank Reich had he had 2 playoff wins as a head coach. He beat the Texans in 2018 and then lost to the Chiefs. And then, he did have 1 playoff win. And then he lost to the Bills with Phillip Rivers in 2020. But I mean, we've seen coaches have more success and they're fired, for less. I mean, look at, you want to talk executives, look at Bill Polian. A couple bad years and they really 1 bad year. Manning lost to the Jets in 2010, had his neck surgery, and then they fired Polian and said, we're going to go with Grigson. Now, maybe that had to do more with the age and they just wanted to have a complete change of the guard.
Right.
But we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot more, and they've been fired. So Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard has not won a division in his entire time in Indianapolis. Shane Steichen hasn't even made the playoffs. He had a winning get-in game against the Houston Texans and couldn't win a couple of years ago. And it's just been mediocrity. And you can say what you want about the context behind the quarterbacks and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, winning matters. This is a proud organization. It should be a proud organization that has not been proud for a long time now. And it's both embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing for the NFL that Phil Rivers can come in and play close games like that. 2 weeks, right off the couch. I mean, they almost beat the Seahawks if the defense would have just blitzed instead of just dropping in to prevent you from winning. At the end of the Seattle game, they hopefully would have won. And then, I mean, he was very in this game. The pick 6 was desperation mode. They were just in desperation mode in that drive. But, I mean, Phil Rivers looking like he's not the worst starting quarterback in the league at this very moment.
No.
I would not say that whatsoever. So the fact that he's able to do that is incredibly sad in the state of offense and the state of quarterbacks in this league. And it's just sad because it's the Colts and it's just like another quarterback controversy. You look at the talent and you say, this team's a quarterback away. They're a quarterback away. I've been hearing it for the last, I don't even know how long now, 7 years. We've been a quarterback away. So being a Colts fan is depressing. It's sad. And I'm not going to be fooled anymore. I just can't be. Luckily, I wasn't fooled this year. I was right.
You were right.
I said the Chiefs game was the barometer. And
neither team has won since that game, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like Kansas City was going to.
Yeah, everyone thought that's the season-saving game for them,
So I guess it was good, but Colts, sad. Very sad.
No defense. I mean, absolutely picked apart on Monday night, too. And after they had held Seattle to what? No touchdowns.
No touchdowns, 6 field goals. I mean, it's then Zaire Franklin going and saying in the media, we failed on all 3 phases tonight. You scored 27 points in the NFL. That should be more than enough to win a football game, especially considering what you did last week.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear the excuses from Zaire Franklin. I'm ready for them to just clean house. I think really you have the new ownership in now. Or not new ownership, but it's a different owner. You have a new face in there. I really think it's just time to completely clear it out, clean house, say, we're going to cut our losses. We have no first round picks for the next 2 years because you traded for Sauce Gardner. Sauce has been hurt for the last 3 weeks. It's time. You have to just you need a change of scenery. You need a new faces in there, new energy. And I think that's all I really have to say on the Colts. It's time. It's just tear it completely down to the bare bones. Keep Alec Pierce, keep some of those defensive guys, some of those cornerstone guys. Obviously, you're going to keep Sauce Gardner. He's still a great cornerback in the league. He's just been hurt the past few weeks. But I mean, it's just sad. And on the 49ers side, I mean,
Yeah.
how many coaches are there that can be talked about who can win Coach of the Year right now? There's a ton out there. And
There
Kyle
are.
Shanahan, I think, should be at the top of that list.
I mean, yeah, Niners control their own destiny for the 1 seed. You look at the odds makers, they have them at, 14, 15 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's just the Fred Warner injury, the Bosa injury. I mean, the defense is questionable, but Brock Purdy's been there. They got McCaffrey, Kittle. I mean, they're playmakers. That Tonga made a hell of a couple catches. One of them they didn't.
Tonjes? Yeah.
Tonjes, sorry. Yeah, and
yeah, I don't know how that wasn't challenged.
It should have been.
Go and look at
and
that.
they got the touchdown anyway, but it wasn't him. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are like, and they have that aura a little bit. It's like they've won before. They're not one of these kind of, like Seattle's more the upstart.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, waiting for Sam Darnold to fail. But you have Purdy throwing 5 touchdown passes. I mean, threw a late pick that all that did was set up a pick 6 later. But
Phil Rivers threw 3 touchdowns on Monday night. That's all I can.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, if you want to talk shit about him, he threw 3 touchdowns.
No. And if the 49ers.
3. One of them was to the other team, but who cares? It was a touchdown.
Right. If the Niners win that I mean, it'll come down to that last game, like perhaps because they play the Bears this week. So they have a test. I mean, they haven't beaten anybody really in this stretch. That's not their fault because we were talking about the Patriots had the softest schedule since the '99 Rams, who won the Super Bowl that year. Didn't get a team more than 8.
They have 2 wins on teams over 500 right now,
right?
Which is the same as the New York Giants. The New York Giants also
they beat the Chargers
wins.
And the Eagles. Yeah. And I'm saying that the 99 Rams are a great example. They blew everyone out that whole season. There was not a team that finished with a better record than 8-8. And then in the playoffs, they still beat Minnesota, Tampa, Tennessee. So I don't see why the Pats can't do it. But the Niners, again, we'll get a better sense these next 2 weeks because their wins have been over like Arizona, Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, Indy. But yeah, it was impressive for the Niners. As bad as the Colts were, that was still an impressive win for San Francisco.
Yeah. Let's move backwards.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to go Ravens-Pats.
Yeah,
Sunday night.
Like, I don't even want to spend the same time ranting, but I think when you're talking about cleaning house to an extent, I think Harbaugh's got to go. I've been saying it for years. I really do. I just think the organization's gotten so comfortable. I think they're afraid to shake things up because remember, the Ravens have only ever had 3 head coaches in their history. This is year 30 of the organization. Ted Marchibroda, the first 3, Brian Billick for 9, and Harbaugh now for 18. And, he wins the Super Bowl in 2012. They've been as far as 1 conference championship since then. But even more than that, the most blown leads ever in a 5-year span. I mean, how can you ignore that stat? Your ownership, that is coaching. Derrick Henry didn't touch the ball the last 12 minutes. I mean, you almost start to wonder if there's intent behind that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they're trying to lose the game, but is there something more to that story?
Especially with your quarterback out.
Right. Exactly. That's another thing too. Yeah. You don't have Lamar Jackson who can mask that absence of Henry. You have Tyler Huntley. I mean, lateraling balls at the end of the half. Mark Andrews. That cost him 3 points because there was a roughing the passer on that play. So if he doesn't do that, he goes down. They may have a chance to get a field goal there. You have Zay Flowers, and my dad and I were watching, and as soon as Flowers made the first move, he's holding the ball. We both were like, he's going to fumble. He's going to fumble, and he did, and he's unfortunately had 2 really unclutch fumbles now in his career, the AFC Championship game. It's bad. The offensive line's not great. They still don't have that. They've just never had great receivers in their history. I mean, with like the argument of who's the best receiver in Ravens history, it's like Anquan Bolden was there, Steve Smith very late in his career, Derek Mason was really good, but he's not like a Larry Fitzgerald. They've never had that true game breaker, in their history. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's just. I think so much of it's coaching, penalties, undisciplined football, blown leads. I mean, they had New England on the ropes. New England hadn't lost on the road or hasn't lost on the road all year. And now the Ravens they're basically finished, I think. I mean, they'd have to beat Green Bay. Cleveland would have to beat Pittsburgh. And then the Ravens would have to beat Pittsburgh. Yeah. And it was a deflating day because, the Lions come, 1 play away from because it's a different story if Pittsburgh loses, perhaps. I'm not saying that would have affected the Ravens game, but it affects their path moving forward. So, yeah, that he just needs to go. That's really all I can cap that with.
I agree. I think I think when coaches are there for too long and it's been over 10 years since you've had true success.
Yeah.
Like no coach, if I'm sorry, if you don't go to a Super Bowl, you don't deserve to be there longer than 10 years.
Right. They've had a grace period since 2012, and they're underachieving. See, it's a polar opposite to Mike Tomlin. All his teams do is overachieve. They're not that good. They're going to waste a playoff spot again. Hey, good for him. He got his 9+ win season, but they overachieve. They get the absolute most out of their talent. The Ravens seem to get the absolute least out of what they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it feels like the injuries a lot. Like they really affect you guys more than a lot of other teams.
Yeah, it's the problem with depth.
That's
Jackson.
both depth and I mean there is something to be said about quality of training staff, like
Could be
something in the organization. There's just energy, stuff like that. I mean, I do believe in that shit. Like my dad was talking to me about the Jaguars, and I was like, I don't care. They're they're not that good.
Right.
And he was like, well, what? They have quality wins. I acknowledge all that. I respect that they have a ton of quality wins. They look really good right now, but it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's just energy. There's something about the football gods that just don't let teams do things. And maybe that's a real meathead, stupid take of me, but I don't care. I've been proven right. The Cleveland Browns have looked, there were a couple of years with Baker Mayfield. They looked really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they should have beaten the Chiefs in that playoff game. But there's something about the energy where they make mistakes in the big moments and they hold themselves back. It does not matter unless there are drastic changes to how they do things.
Right.
And the Ravens, there needs to be a drastic change to how they do things.
Yeah.
And it starts at the top. It starts with John Harbaugh. Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, they are rolling. They are probably top 2, 3 hottest team in football right now.
Denver, had won 11 in a row.
I'm looking at these teams. This is just bizarre. I mean, the Bears being in that list of some of the hottest teams. The Jaguars. This is like Houston. Sim into the future in Madden.
Yeah, right.
We're in that future right now, which I guess when I was playing Madden, it was probably 2016, and we're about to be in 2026, so that actually makes a lot of sense.
Jags, I think I saw first 5-game win streak since 99, the year they went to the championship game, lost to Tennessee.
Wow.
I mean, and Denver had won the 11 in a row, like I said. I mean, look, they're going to go from 1-2 to 18-2 or whatever. I mean, they were going to lose a game, but I think it was the way in which Jacksonville's offense really controlled the tempo of the game, and a lot of Denver's yards I felt like were kind of not garbage yards, but kind of a little more inconsequential because they came once they had a big deficit. So I'm probably more sold on the Jaguars than you are. I just don't see why they can't win this year because a lot of the your top teams right now, New England, Denver, right, but you have unproven. I mean, is Bo Nix that much better? I mean, I like Bo Nix and Sean Payton. You trust the established coaches, but the teams, they haven't been there either. Trevor Lawrence does have a playoff win. That's more than Bo Nix has. That's more than Drake May has at this point.
Again, like another one of those. It's another one of those teams. Or I mean,
Herbert
again,
doesn't have a win either.
No, I know. I'm saying it's the Chargers. It's another one of those types of teams with the energy. They just can't.
Right.
Whatever they do, they can't escape that.
We'll see, but they have a chance. I mean, they play Indy and Tennessee to close out the year, so they could get.
I mean,
that's
2 free wins, pretty much.
Perhaps,
it's 2 free wins.
I mean, right? Unless they rest guys and don't have anything to play for, but yeah.
And Denver, I think this is kind of a loss that Denver needed.
They said that about the Patriots. Collinsworth was saying,
and it's kind of like Ohio State. How Ohio State loses to Indiana, and now the pressure's off.
Well, last year, right? They lost to Michigan last year in the rivalry game, and then
this year they lose to Indiana in the Big Ten game. The Michigan game, I know a couple of Ohio State fans. If you lose to Michigan, you're a scumbag. Like they look at you as like you're disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate you. They would rather beat Michigan than win the national championship. That's the stupidest thing I've ever.
Yeah.
I would rather if the Red Sox could win the World Series.
They used to say that about the Red Sox. That beating the Yankees was almost like that was the World Series for them.
I would rather win the World Series and lose every single game that year to the Yankees.
Yeah,
and just say we were able to do it. I don't care. we actually fought against we fought past that. We had 19 losses
Yeah.
or 18 losses. Is it 18 games now?
Now it's 13, but yeah, it used to be 19.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But that was a big win for Jacksonville. I don't think it's too alarming for Denver. I think they still have the inside track for the 1 seed. I'm not sure. Their last 2 games are Chiefs, which now is a joke. And then the Chargers. Chargers, by the way, Chargers only team undefeated in division play now, 5-0. My favorite stat, this is the 24th year since we realigned to 32 teams. There's never been a year where more than 2 teams went 6-0 in their division. We're down to 1 team right now. And I'm pretty surprised that it's the Chargers of all teams. Yeah.
Well, and they do still. They have Denver left, right?
They have Denver left.
Week 18, correct? So, yeah, that is not guaranteed whatsoever. Steelers, Lions, I got to say, I love the performance that the refs gave at the end. The 3 to 4 minutes trying to figure everything out. You got Aaron Rodgers after the game going, well, I was a part of a pretty crazy game about 13 years ago, but they were replacement refs.
The Fail Mary. Yeah.
And then them going, the play is a touchdown.
However.
And they let the fans go crazy. However, there was an offensive pass interference on the play, so that negates the touchdown. And the game is over, which my dad was a little upset, and he's a Colts fan, so he doesn't care about this game either way. But he was like, well, why doesn't the offense get to run another play? And I was like,
they got penalized.
Because they got penalized. And he goes, yeah, but I mean, that negates the play. It just knocks them back. They should, they lose the yardage. And I was like, but the penalty was before the catch. If it was after the catch,
that's a good question. What if I guess it was a touchdown. If there had been
but they had no timeouts. That was the other thing. And he was like, but still, it's a penalty. So
yeah,
but I was like, well, that just to the rules of football. I was like, that just doesn't make sense.
I just had the weirdest feeling because I didn't see the flag, but on the first one where they got the touchdown, I was like, somehow this is going to be called back, or the Steelers are going to throw Rodgers going to throw a Hail Mary in the last 22 seconds. It felt like the Lions were not supposed to win, and you could talk all day about the refs and the call. I just got one thing to say that sums it up. Jahmyr Gibbs, 7 carries, 2 yards.
Yeah.
Starts and ends there. Jared Goff gets sacked for a safety, lack of awareness. Those 2 points, if it's 27-24, Lions kick a field goal, they go to overtime. So and Dan Campbell, I think, went for it early in the game. I mean, you got to take a much deeper look. Don't even think about that last sequence. The Lions just... You worry that they hit their peak after being up 17 on the Niners.
Pittsburgh rushing 27 for 230.
That shouldn't happen. Oh my gosh. Pittsburgh's rush game.
12 for 15.
That's
15.
And you still had a chance to win the
30.
And that's Mike Tomlin. Again, Pittsburgh still had a chance to lose the game. Steelers have one of the most mediocre run games in the league. So to give up 230, to not make tackles, Kenneth Gainwell, though, that was a pretty ridiculous catch. I'll give it to him on that. But don't look any further than that. You want to analyze this game, forget the last few minutes. Just look at that.
And DK Metcalf. I mean, DK's just don't walk over there. I don't know. There was video from the stands. I mean, there was a claim of a racial slur being thrown, but there wasn't in the video. At the same time, that fan is apparently notorious for saying things to players.
Right.
So I think this is another lesson in you shouldn't be an idiot, because DK also just lost $45 million from that. His contract guarantees were voided from getting suspended.
Ban the fan, obviously, but there's no, verbal assault should never turn into, especially from a professional athlete. What is it in Detroit? Malice at the Palace 21 years ago. This wasn't obviously that, but
just call a security guard over and say that guy shouldn't be saying
easy as that.
Fans are being given way too much leeway with a lot of things.
They are there, but the guy wasn't reaching out and trying to hurt Mick. If he's not, defending himself, that's one thing. But this is a veteran. This isn't some young kid who's, learning his way. So that, I think he should be suspended for the rest of the year. But their year's not going to go further than 1, maybe 2 playoffs. It's okay.
Yeah, my dad was like, if I was the coach, I would sit him anyways. I was like,
Tomlin, I don't know. I don't want to get into that whole my feelings about the Steelers, but
Steelers. I don't know. They're starting to sell me a little bit. They're starting to.
They might get their one. Tomlin, they're overdue 9 years since a playoff win. I think Aaron Rodgers might need to have his. So beware. If you're that wild card team going on the road to Pittsburgh, you might just be the sacrificial lamb for a story that the media can run with. And that might be the Chargers or the Bills. Team that feels like
I would like
the
Chargers.
Well, the Chargers feel like the kind of team that would have a great year, go into the cold of Pittsburgh and just be frozen out. Yeah.
They've done that many times, especially in New England.
Right.
Raiders, Texans, not much here. I mean, great game. Texans playing a lot closer than they should have. But I mean, you're not going to be perfect. And, especially like you're going on this run, there's a lot of energy being spent by the Texans just to survive in the playoff chase. So you're going to have a game where you really don't look good. And I mean, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll and Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, like they're not that. I don't think they're this bad. They're going to have a couple games where they're hanging in there.
Right.
And they hung in, and that's all I really got.
They did. Not a lot of yards for Houston in this game, only 270. I think they, they'd won, 6 in a row going in. Trap game, you got the Chargers on a short week coming up. They won the game. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest thing. You could sit here and analyze that they didn't play well. They got a defensive touchdown, but I still think Houston feels good about where it's at, given that they started 0-3 and then I guess 3-5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at this point, you just need to win games, and sometimes it's just not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
But I can't really negate what I've seen the last 7 weeks or something like that from them, just based on this. Falcons, Cardinals, literally nothing except for Bijan is the third Falcon in NFL or in their history to reach 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
1,000 yards from scrimmage.
Or was it 2,000 yards from scrimmage?
Oh, probably 2,000.
Let's see.
Be curious if Julio Jones was one of them. I don't know. Probably has to be a running back.
Okay, yeah, 2,000 yards from scrimmage in a season.
Jamal Anderson's got
and
one of them.
William Andrews, Jamal Anderson and William Andrews, in 1981 and 1983. I don't know where I got one.
Cardinals stink to high, having 2-0 and now 3-12. Speaking of coaches that are out the door, bye Jonathan Gannon. Also, he assaulted? Not assaulted, but they hit.
Got mad.
Forget
DeMarcado.
DeMarcado, yeah. They lost to Tennessee when Tennessee was the only win they had for like 11 games. So to me, that win almost sealed his fate early on.
Yeah. Bengals, Dolphins. Joe Burrow spent the whole week talking about Pokemon in his pressers. Not the whole week, but and then I think Zach Taylor got into an argument with one of the reporters over his contract. I had Chase Brown on my fantasy team on the bench in the championship, and I started Bucky Irving over him. Bucky Irving did nothing. Chase Brown had 3 touchdowns all year. He had 3 touchdowns in this game. So I'm really disgusted with the Bengals. Fuck you, Bengals. I mean, besides that, Quinn Ewers was a rookie. He looks like a rookie.
Round pick. Bengals got shut out a week ago by the Ravens. They were ticked off. This was more about Miami. I talk about a team that hit a wall after a little run that they made. The Monday night game, they come home on the short week. They benched Tua. It's a mess. I think McDaniel's out too. He's got to be. He's got to be.
It felt like he saved his job for a little while, but to do all that and win those games and then just lose, you know, the ones you really need to, I mean, thinking you have a shot at the playoff, now your draft pick is just ruined. Your draft position is fun.
Again, his fate was probably sealed with that 31-6 loss to the Browns in late October. Should have been. He shouldn't have made that flight home.
Yeah, I agree. Vikings, Giants. JJ McCarthy's hurt again. Giants did exactly what they were supposed to do. They keep it entertaining, and then they lose at the end.
Number 1 pick.
To preserve the number 1 pick. So good on them.
Yeah, Vikings, respectable record after a rough start. Remember, they won 14 games last year.
Yeah.
Did just enough. We'll see if they can. If they could put the nail in Detroit's coffin this week, they'll have to do it with a 3rd-string quarterback. But
Max Brosmer.
Yeah. Not much else to say with the Vikings.
And the Giants, I'm hearing possibly Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame as a candidate. I'm hearing possibly Kurt Signetti. I'm also hearing they do want to try and go and get a veteran guy as
Tom
well.
Coughlin.
They're looking at a couple. They're looking at a couple college coaches. I don't think Marcus Freeman is the guy. I think they've tried to get the like the upstart offensive coordinator. They've tried to find that young smart talent, but you need to pair an offensive head coach with a Jackson Dart with a young quarterback.
Yeah,
because it does seem like when you pair a defensive head coach with a young quarterback, the young quarterback he's kind of thrown to the wayside a little bit.
right. Wait,
So
Dart only threw. I mean, I forget the numbers. It was ridiculous. Only threw like I almost want to say single-digit passes.
let's
It was
see,
like 13 passes or something.
13 attempts.
Wow. Yeah, you can't do that. Vikings got a. Was the Vikings? No, the Giants had a defensive touchdown. Yeah, it was ugly. New York teams combined, and we can transition to the segue to the Jets next. But what,
What's their
five
record?
wins total? Yeah, between the two New Jersey football teams.
Jets 3-12.
Yeah, Giants 2-13.
2-13. So 5 total wins between
25 losses.
the Jersey teams. So
Yeah.
not good. It's not good in New York. And the Saints, Shuck.
Yeah, he
Shuckster.
might be in the Rookie of the Year discussion, and he didn't even start the year as their quarterback.
He could be. I mean, you could be looking at the future of the New Orleans Saints.
I'm glad the Saints are winning some games because I think early in the year they were hanging in a lot, and I expected them to be one of, if not the single worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they had some really tight games against some decent teams. I mean, like they took San Francisco
Took
to
Buffalo.
the wire, took Buffalo, kept it close. They beat Carolina twice. I mean, it's crazy. We're talking about Carolina maybe winning the division.
They've beaten the top 2 teams in the NFC South. They beat the Bucs.
That's right. And they beat the Bucs on the road. Yeah, so Kellen Moore looks like the right choice for now anyway, and Shuck, and maybe the future's a little brighter than we think for the Saints.
Yeah.
For the Jets, that's for sure.
No, the Jets are they're starting guys you don't even know.
It's just terrible.
Bucks Panthers. Bryce Young.
Again,
he looks like Bryce Young at Alabama right now. He's moving in the pocket. There was that one touchdown pass that it felt like he was dead, and then he just somehow finds a way out. I mean, this shows coaching matters, I think, more than anything.
Canales doing a nice job,
matters. Dave Canales
loves to beat the Bucs, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the Bucs. I mean, they let the 2 guys the 2 offensive coordinators they let walk are leading their divisions right now. Liam Cohn and Dave Canales.
Man. And I would say it was almost like Ravens Steelers. You have Carolina, this really gritty, not as good as the record not as indicative of kind of what they are, but gritty, winning close games. They beat the Rams a few weeks ago. And then you have the Bucs doing stupid things to lose that game against Atlanta a couple weeks ago. Had a chance in this one, didn't, Mayfield throws the pick at the end. I think Todd Bowles is another coach. It's crazy because they've won 4 division titles in a row, and it just never felt like any of those teams, well, the last 3 years was Bowles, but that any of those teams really had a chance to do anything big.
Yeah.
And now they're losing game. Now they're almost borderline beating themselves. And I'm impressed with Carolina. I don't know that they're for real, but I think they're going to win the division.
Yeah. I think they will. I mean, the Bucs are they look incredibly sad. Baker's clearly hurt. He's clearly playing through a litany of injuries.
Yeah, he is.
So that's I mean, and he's the gritty guy, but I mean, what else are they going to do? You can't go to a backup.
Not getting anything out of their running game, and I know Mike Evans was hurt most of the year. Just not getting anything out of that running game.
Yeah. I mean, but I had Bucky Irving.
Yeah, there you
fucking
go.
nothing.
Yeah,
they were down. They were down on the one a couple times. Sean Tucker and Mike Evans took my touchdowns away.
Yeah.
So absolute horseshit. I fucking hate the Bucs. Chargers Cowboys. Chargers are getting hot.
They are. Yeah, and they're doing it with guys. A lot of beat up. They're beat up team, and Herbert. Maybe it's the Madison Beer effect. I don't know. I mean, they're. She the new Taylor Swift? Who knows?
What is that? The Moneyball quote. You have an ugly girlfriend, he has no confidence. He has a pretty girlfriend, has some confidence.
Yeah, again, coaching. Yeah. They got the right Harbaugh. We got the wrong one, but they got the right Harbaugh. They're playing well. Like I said, 5-0 in the AFC West. Of course, now you look at the Chiefs. It's like, they swept the Chiefs and the Raiders. But
it was still the Chiefs.
But the Chiefs was week 1, and then Mahomes, played pretty much that whole game. So. They're winning, and they're a team that maybe we were joking about going into Pittsburgh and losing, but maybe they're a team that doesn't mind playing on the road because at home they don't, the
have many fans.
Stadium is more than half.
That almost more teams are going to adopt that. They're going to build horrible stadiums.
Yes,
where they
teams
don't want
playing
fans
on
to
the
come.
road. Yeah,
Do not come here because we're going to be better on the road.
yeah, playing at I went from the Apple Store to Jerry World this week. Yeah,
Yeah.
right now they are. Well, they did beat the Giants. That's their only road win
This
year.
current
Okay,
Chiefs
I was going to
team
say that's actually the only road win
yeah.
the Chiefs have this year was Week 3 against the Giants. But yeah, it's amazing how badly exposed the Chiefs were in that Super Bowl, and I think it's carried over, and it just showed that Mahomes was doing almost everything by himself, and a lot of transition coming in Kansas City. You don't know if Mahomes will be ready for Week 1. How long does Andy Reid, does he want to go through a potential
Travis Kelce's taken a page out of the Taylor Swift book lately. He's been he said, what did they say? He said, I think they were talking about next year, and he goes, yeah, I think the Chiefs will be fine.
Wow.
I think the Chiefs will be fine. Not us,
Yeah.
not we, the Chiefs. So
we
have to do the Taylor Swift
Kansas Chiefs, right?
Yes,
yeah.
not the Kansas City,
God.
the Kansas Chiefs.
Indoor in Kansas, yeah.
Yeah, the indoor thing, I think that's why like people just like Buffalo more because they're still the new stadium is outdoors.
Football's not meant to be played indoors.
It's not.
Go watch Arena League if you want that.
Yeah, it feels a little chicken shit. It feels like Miami wearing white uniforms in the snow. Feels
yeah.
All right. Bills Browns. The Browns, I mean, Shador has them hanging in there a little bit. Poor Quinshon Judkins.
Was this more of a Buffalo letdown game after that New England comeback?
I mean, but Cleveland's they've been playing some. I mean, Shador has the offense moving. And say what you want.
A 25-yard sack late in the game. I think Josh Allen did too. It was a weird game.
Again, there are Shador stands that are incredibly crazy. I mean, there were 2 interceptions. Both of them were popped up in the air. One of them was a pass that was clearly behind Quinshon Judkins. It hit him, he's running this way, and it hit him in this shoulder pad. Like, that's where it was, and it popped up in the air, and it was picked off. And these people were saying, well, that was a perfect pass, and Judkins just didn't make the catch. And I was like, you have to lead him. Like, that is very well-known football. You hit him right here if he's running there.
Right.
You want to lead him so he can have the momentum, but having to cut back. But, I mean, and then there are other people who will get upset if you say anything good about Shador.
Right.
But he has the Browns offense. I mean, it's better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably the best the Browns offense has looked since maybe DTR. When DTR had like a couple good weeks. Say what you want. They've looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They've been competitive.
Yeah, but they still want a high draft pick.
They want the high draft pick, and they're happy they're losing. But
yeah, and the Bills may not win the division. You wonder, and just my only thought on the Bills is, are they the kind of team after all these years of being one of the higher seeds? They've never been the 1, but being like 2 or 3, all these expectations going in, could they actually be better suited to go in as more of an underdog playing on the road? Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're a good home team, but who knows? Maybe that's what they need. I don't know.
I mean, these are some bad teams, but 24 over the Raiders, 24-10. They lost to the 49ers. They only scored 8 there. Scored 29 against the Titans, 3 against the Bears, but that was in the cold and shit. And then 20 against the Bills. I mean, and
the Browns
before that,
yeah.
Before that, it was 16 against the Bengals, 17 against the Vikings in London, 10 against the Lions, 9 against the Steelers, they did score 31 against
16 against the Ravens, I think, yeah. So
I mean, but still, there's at least a little bit. It feels like there's a little bit more excitement. around the offense.
I think Stefanski's. I think they gotta move on.
Yeah, that's another one of those guys. He's been there too long.
Yeah,
he's been there too long. But I wouldn't be shocked if Shador is the starter next year.
No,
going into the year. I mean, Deshaun. No one wants to see Deshaun.
Yeah.
Game of the week: Bears Packers. Arguably the game of the week. There were some really good times this week.
Yeah. The Bears. I mean, I'm telling you, 2001 Bears, but with a better quarterback.
They had a 0.8% chance to win on the onside kick.
It's been shades of 2001 for the Bears, and it was shades of the 2014 NFC Championship game for the Packers, not handling that onside kick. The 4th down, wide open. They just get that touchdown in, and yeah, the Bears
and then
have
a fucking missile from Caleb Williams in overtime.
Yeah,
I mean that
looked like the one that
football fly was like, oh my god.
That reminded me of the 2014 championship game. I think it was it Baldwin or Curse that caught the game winner?
Yeah,
and it was and that was wild. I mean, the Packers they're dealing with injuries. They may be down to their third string quarterback against the Ravens. I mean, they really hung in there. I think the Packers do have a really good defense,
Yeah.
but I'm just not sure that they have enough there. And I think the Bears, again, there had to be a
But
few prove it games. This
yeah.
is one. Now you go on the road to San Francisco. But man, I think one of the many Coach of the Year candidates, Ben Johnson, completely turned the culture around in Chicago. That was a great game.
And
Great
this was like an exercising of demons. It felt like for sure.
First win over
really
Green
did.
Bay at home since 2018, and I don't even think Aaron Rodgers was playing that game. I'd have to
Yeah, I
look
think
because
he
he
was
got
hurt
that year.
that was
Yeah.
the Mitch year, the Trubisky.
Yeah, that was right. The double doink Chicago in the
Yeah.
playoffs that year.
But yeah, it felt like just being at Soldier, seeing how windy it was, like it
Yeah.
was like the devil was in the stadium.
Maybe the biggest game the Bears have played since that playoff game we just mentioned against the
and
Eagles.
again, like your 0.8% chance to win, and then you get the onside kick, and it just felt like that.
They're going to score,
Like
even
it
though they didn't get a
snapped.
touchdown all night to that point, and then they get one at the end of regulation and then in overtime.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch. And Cairo Santos, from 51,
in the win, 3 field
banging
goals.
it in.
He won't hopefully be double doinking in the playoffs.
I think he won't have to buy a beer in Chicago for a long time. Just him. I hope people recognize Cairo Santos and the kicker, because kickers fucking matter.
They do.
You see that? I think you recognize that more and more, like as the season goes.
Absolutely.
Kickers absolutely matter. And my prediction on the record being set is still alive. Or record being set twice is still alive.
What, for the kick
record?
Length? Well, Pinheiro hit a 64-yarder off the crossbar the other night.
Yes.
Not that was a record, but
still,
crazy.
It's still alive.
Everything's field goal. Midfield is field goal range.
Couple more weeks, still alive. I'd love to see it. Do we count the playoffs for that as well? I feel like we should count the playoffs.
I think so.
Eagles, Commanders, not much here. Eagles should have won. Commanders should have lost.
Yeah, down to maybe Josh Johnson, who he had a shot against the Eagles in the championship game, then he gets hurt. I think the Eagles, like, they got kind of a get-right opportunity here. With the Raiders, Commanders, they got Buffalo this week. So we'll see if those two games have given them confidence and they finish with the Commanders. They're not going to have a bye, but they have won the division. So this is a chance for that, because like even against Buffalo, it doesn't really matter in the sense of like they know that they're not going to be the one, but they're going to be home. So they have a chance to. It's kind of like a baseball team where they kind of get guys healthy, set their rotation up for the playoffs. Curious to see if the Eagles have taken that step forward that they need for the offense. So to me, that's the difference right now, and then possibly going back to the Super Bowl.
Josh Johnson has played in 3 kind of major Eagles games. This one to clinch the division, the NFC title game with the 49ers.
22, yeah.
And then when the Eagles clinched a playoff spot, I believe in 2018, when they sat Carson Wentz, I believe he was the quarterback for the Redskins at the time in that game. It was a Sunday night game, and I remember them benching Carson Wentz, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but he's been in a few big Eagles games. He's a good luck charm for Philly.
Yeah, at least he's a good luck charm for somebody.
Yeah. And Seahawks Rams, the other possible game of the
good
week.
one to end on. Yeah.
Sam Darnold, I mean, it felt like he was turning into the pumpkin, and then didn't. There's not much else to say.
Yeah. He owed the Rams, they ended his season last year. He had 4 picks against them earlier this year.
Yeah.
This was a wild game. And I said this to you before we started, I think the Rams are still the best team in football because I think they're so explosive. Their losses have all been, they've had a lead in every game this year. Their losses have been inexplicable. I'd say 3 of them you can pin on special teams, which cost Giants Super Bowl hero Chase Blackburn his job. Stafford, ridiculous. Puka Nacua, don't really care for him off the field, but man, he's one hell of a receiver.
What a PR nightmare he's been going through the past.
Yeah.
I just don't I mean, letting a streamer go to the facility. Did you watch the post-game presser from Sean McVay?
No, I didn't hear that.
He was incredibly angry just about the game, and they were asking him like, well, what do you say about Puka Nacua's comments today? What do you say about this? He goes, I don't know. I can't comment on anything I don't know about. He was incredibly hostile.
Yeah.
And then they asked, well, do you think it's okay for him to be bringing a streamer to the facility? And, it was to the parking lot, I guess, of the Rams facility, but still, Why are you bringing someone to your place of work like
Yeah,
that?
a very inappropriate celebration.
And
He's
yeah,
streaming live, I think, after one of that, maybe it was the Arizona win. And I mean, but just, and McVay is seems like a pretty nice guy. So if he's getting ticked off, either the reporter's going too far or he really is upset about
what
something.
did he say? He said we're just gonna put our arms around him and tell him we got to be better, but we got you. And I was
Right.
like, that is a father who is pissed. Like my dad has probably said something like that when I did something wrong as
Yeah.
a kid. He was like, yeah, we're just gonna have to put our arm around him and tell him to be better. And when you get home, it's like, what the fuck is the matter with you? What are you doing?
And a lot of luck in this game. The backwards, the Zackward lateral, I heard someone call it. That play, you had obviously they get the 2-pointer in overtime. The Rams had 581 yards of total offense in this game. They held the ball for 40 minutes compared to 26 for Seattle. I mean, Darnold made some throws under pressure when he had to,
Yeah.
but I still think this Rams team, if they're healthy, if they get a pass rush, if they can stay after the quarterback, I still think they're going to be hard to beat. I mean, you could argue they could borderline be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
So they're a scary team, even if they're a team that's going to be on the road. Again, they don't have home field advantage, so
They don't care.
I don't think going on the road is a problem at all for the Rams. And but Seattle, man, I mean they've got to go to Carolina and San Francisco to end the year. That's not a given that they're going to win those 2 games.
Yeah.
And get the 1 seed. I could easily see them losing one, if not both of those games.
Yeah.
But it was just an incredibly entertaining game. It was, I think Stafford, despite the loss, probably locks up MVP with that performance. They've got, and then remember, no Devontae Adams in this game. And so
Yeah.
Nakua just himself, knowing he was going to get throw after throw after throw, he still dominated, was 12 for 225. I still say you don't put too much stock into this loss, even if it costs the Rams seeding. I still think they're the best team in the NFL. I'm going to say it now. I don't necessarily mean they're going to get to the Super Bowl or win it, but I just think they're the best team.
I just want to read these stats off because it's crazy.
Yeah.
29 for 49, 457, 3 touchdowns, 110 passer rating, and Puka Nacua 12 for 25, 2 touchdowns. The longest was a 58-yarder.
12 for 225.
Or
12 for 25 would be a nice.
12 for
a lot
225.
of checkdowns, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like
busting your chops.
Yeah. No, you can, all right, and then let's do our rapid fire picks and we'll get out of here. Just give me who you think's gonna win and that's it. Cowboys, Commanders, Christmas Day.
Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys. Lions, Vikings, 4:30 Christmas Day.
You got to go. Yeah, I'm going all the road favorites on Sunday because I just think the Lions are ticked off after last week. So
yeah, Lions. They're not losing after losing a game like that. Broncos, Chiefs, 8:15 Christmas night.
Ticked off team, hot team against the worst team in football.
I don't even care. I don't even care if the Broncos could be the happiest team on the planet.
Yeah,
I'd still say they would destroy this Chiefs team. Saturday, 4:30, Texans, Chargers.
Oh, this is really good. I mean, flip a coin. I'm going to say Chargers just because Houston's got to lose one. I don't know. Chargers are just they're gaining confidence.
Fun to pick, man. I feel like the Houston's defense is going to feast.
Yeah.
The Chargers offensive line, I mean, they've obviously been getting stronger and stronger as the season has gone, but the offensive line, that's going to be exposed.
Yeah.
I think that will absolutely be exposed. Good teams know how to do that, and I think D'Amico Ryans knows how to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going Texans, and then Ravens, Packers, 8:00.
I don't care
Saturday
if it's
night.
Lamar against the third stringer. Packers defense is too good. The Ravens are.
What's wrong
Just
with
put him
Lamar?
out of their misery. I think he's playing through injuries this year. He's got, I think, a back injury. I think the Ravens are just too disjointed, and when they play, especially going on the road, they've been better on the road, but against a really good defense, they're just not going to be able to figure anything out. Now I'm going Green Bay.
Jags, Colts. I don't know who the starting quarterback is.
Yeah, Jags for sure.
Jags, easy. Steelers, Browns.
As much as I'd love to see, I think the Browns could be feisty in this game, coming off this big win for Pittsburgh, but
spunky. I think they're gonna be spunky.
I think it'll be a tight game, but I'll have to go Pittsburgh.
This is a spunky Browns team, but I would go maybe +3. That wouldn't be a horrible bet to take Cleveland +3, but I'm going Steelers to win. Pats, Jets, New England, 13.5-point favorites.
I don't know if I would. Yeah, I'd probably take the points. I mean, they beat them by 13 earlier. Pats are going to end up undefeated on the road this year, which would be the third time in their franchise history, 07, 16, both Super Bowl appearances at least. Jets are horrible. Take the Pats.
All right. Saints, Titans. Oh, I'm going to Pats as well. Saints, Titans.
Give me
This is
the
easy
Saints
to me.
to keep rolling.
Yeah, I think Saints and Saints minus 2.5.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
Bucks Dolphins. It's I heard someone say it's cocaine versus meth. Florida Bowl, cocaine versus
Oh
meth.
yeah, I don't know. I think the Bucks they've got to figure it out. This Dolphins team looks like they're just gonna kind of limp out of the season.
This has to be a tune-up game.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah.
Going
Stay alive
Bucks.
for the division, right?
Yeah, and Bucks minus 5.5. I think they're gonna roll here. You got to get the frustration out of
Probably.
Seattle, Seahawks, Panthers in Carolina. Big one here. Seattle 7-point
That's
road
way
favorites.
too much. I'm going Carolina straight up.
Carolina
That's
straight
gonna be
up.
my upset of the week. I'm going to take the Panthers.
I like it. I'm going Carolina too.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Cardinals, Bengals, absolutely inconsequential game.
Yeah, Bengals to me.
Bengals, I guess.
7.5's a lot, but I'll take the Bengals.
Bengals, I guess. I feel like they're trying to get their frustrations out.
Probably be a lot of points in this game.
Joe Burrow could be wearing a blue jersey next year. Could he be in Indianapolis?
But he's going to the Dodgers too. Is he? What it is?
Maybe Indianapolis. I don't know, man. Maybe Carly Ursay wants to make some waves. Giants, Raiders. Giants 1.5-point favorites.
Giants are really good at keeping the 1 seed. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll say Pete Carroll, but I guess. Well, this is for the number 1 draft pick.
Who wants it less?
Who wants it less?
Geno against the Giants, though. He probably doesn't care about the draft pick. He wants to beat the Giants.
I'm gonna go Raiders and Geno. Eagles, Bills, 425 game, 1.5. Buffalo's 1.5-point home favorites, right?
See, I think I go Buffalo just because I think the Eagles, like I said, they're not really playing. They're not going to get the 1 seed. They're locked in as the division champs. I think they're more focused. Not that they don't want to win, but Buffalo really needs this. I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm surprised it's only 1.5, just given that, not so much what the teams are. I'm surprised it's not at least like Buffalo minus 3.
It feels pretty inconsequential.
It does, and they'll finish with Washington, so they should end up 11-6, and I think that's perfectly fine. They just need to be healthy and ready to go on Wild Card weekend.
Yeah. Bears 49ers Sunday Night Football. And I'm going Bills in that game. San Francisco 3-point favorites in San Francisco.
I still think San Francisco because I just don't know if the Bears can keep up. I would love it. I'd love to see the Bears.
The Bears, baby. Give me the fucking Bears. And then they end with Detroit in Week 18.
And yeah, and
Detroit. And Campbell knows how to get the boys ready to go, though. Even if they're eliminated, he's going to want to win that game.
Well, that was like 2022 against the Packers who knocked them out. Yeah.
Especially against Ben Johnson too.
Oh yeah,
because him leaving has clearly affected.
It has, but the Lions beat the Bears 52-21. That was back in week 2, but so it's not like that's an easy one for the Bears. Yeah,
very different Bears team. And then the Monday night game, Rams Falcons. I wish they could flex this out because Falcons are sad, but Rams 7.5-point. I guess the question is, are the Rams going to cover?
I think so. I think this is we're ticked off kind of game. It wouldn't shock me if they didn't, but the Rams desperately need this. I think they are pissed off. They've had 3 extra.
I don't care. Give me
Kirk
minus
Cousins
all the points.
Good for probably a pick 6 in this game or a fumble return touchdown.
Yeah,
I like the Rams easy.
All right, it's gonna wrap it up. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. We're gonna try and do more in person when the schedules match up.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for watching. Go check out Spring Hill Sports Cards. Go check out Draft America, and we will see you next week.